How you doing? Dr. Ulysses Jackson. Welcome back to another Mental Health Monday. Today we're going to have a discussion on job opportunity. I picked this topic today because a lot of people that I talk to daily and weekly, we have this discussion about job opportunities and whether they like their job, whether they're happy with their job, whether they want to change careers, things like that. We always have these discussions on, Doc, I like my job. I don't like my boss. I want to move on. I want to do something different. This is not a career that I really want to be stuck in. So today we're going to have to ask ourselves, how happy or content are you with your job? Don't ask yourself that. Give yourself a moment real quick and think about that. How happy or content are you with your job? The reason I ask is because most people will say they don't like their job. So that's why I wanted to define real quick from my understanding. The difference between a job and a career is a job is something that we all start off with, especially when we were younger. We started off with a job because we had to get money to get the things we wanted. We had to get money to survive. We had to get money to do things. So if it was working at the grocery store, if it was cutting grass, whatever it may or may not have been, we say, you know what? This is what we're going to do. We got to get some money and we got to move on. So that's the thing that we started doing in our lives to get money, was we got a job. The difference between a job and a career. A career is something I believe you work real hard on, you create, and you become. An NBA player, they grow up, they want to play basketball, they put that time and effort in it, and they're like, you know what, this is something I really want to do. So they become an NBA player. You know what I'm saying? And everybody doesn't make it. Even rappers, entertainers, movie stars. You read the scripts, you write the rhymes, it becomes your passion. When someone asks you, what's your career? My career is an actor. My career is an NBA player, NFL player, movie star, graphic designer. Following your passion becomes something that you want to do. And this is why I wind up doing this mental health stuff, because I came in as a drug counselor, and then it just swayed into a lot of clients that I was meeting. They didn't have a substance abuse or drug problem. So I went on to say, okay, what I looked at as someone with a great job, I saw a lawyer. I'm like, wow, look at him, look at her. She's a lawyer. They must make a lot of money. I want to do that. I should have did that. I should have became a lawyer. And when I go to the bank a lot, I was seeing the bank tellers. I see the nice young ladies in there and the men in suit. I would say, see, they got better opportunities than I have. You know what I'm saying? That's why they work in the bank. Fast forward, summer's here. You see people in the construction sites, all this new construction going on all over in every state. I would look from when I was young and I would see people building things. I'd say, man, look at that guy building that house. I wish I had the opportunity to do that. So let's fast forward and talk about those three careers that I mentioned: the lawyer, the banker, and the construction worker. The lawyer, he has to go to school to get his law degree. And I have a cousin that's a lawyer. And when he became a lawyer, I said to him, hey, what law do you study? And he looked at me and he laughed. He said, not criminal law. I'm like, not criminal law. So, and he said, you know why not? I said, why? He said, because as he said, it's my belief that when criminals get arrested for a criminal case, and if they're facing a lot of time, they're going to jail, how am I going to get my money if they're locked up? He said, so I went into acquisitions and specifically real estate law. That's the lawyer I wanted to be. So then I said, okay, and I thought about it, and I got older and time moved on. I have a few lawyer friends. And how they get their money is based on this. For those that are pursuing those law degrees and things like that, you're going to pay a lot of money for college and pursue your goal. But once you reach that plateau of a lawyer, you got to get cases. You got to have clients. You have to maintain clients. What's a lawyer that's sitting in a law office right now with no clients? We could even go further. Back in the days, I heard about ambulance chases. But he was lawyers that actually hear about cases and run to them to make sure they got good representation, because you have to have clients. So don't think just because you got a law degree or you work with a law firm that you're rich. No, you have to get clients, make court dates, prepare paperwork, do real estate, acquisitions, go to closings. So that was that part. But then I looked and I said, well, maybe the banker is the one getting all the money. And over the years, I go to several different banks, and when I go in, I notice that I say, where is so and so? Oh, he's not here anymore. Oh, where is they changed. They moved on. They went to other places. So you find me where I'm going. The perception of a job change. So, and the moral of what I'm saying is, whether you work at a deli, you work at a grocery store, you work in a school, don't look at the next person and think because they have a job that's a dentist or a lawyer or accountant that that they've made it. No, even my accountant, if he asked me, hey, if you need somebody that needs some work, let me know. But then and he told me, tax season, he swamped. But tax season is for how many months a year? When tax season over, what's she doing? Bookkeeping and other things. So we have to, when we pick a career, we pick something we love. Don't look at it for the money, because even a basketball player, football player, they could get hurt. They could go on an injured reserve list. All this is not guaranteed. So you have to figure out in your mind and in your life, what is it that you want to do as far as a career? And our construction workers, and I have a couple friends that are licensed electricians, plumbers, construction workers, contractors. Even a lot of them are in the unions. And they say to me, there was a project going on in Manhattan, or there was a project going on out, and I worked on it for 5 or 8 months. For the next 4 or 5 months in the year, if that job ended, they're waiting for union fees. They're waiting for union dues. They're doing independent work. They're going from these big projects to trying to get other work. Again, you could be the best contractor in the world. If you ain't got nothing to build or nothing to work on, where you going? So look at your job satisfaction and look at your passion on what you're doing. You might don't like school, but if it takes you 2 years to get an associate's, it may take you 8 months to get an HVAC, air conditioning, refrigeration degree, and you might love it. And then in the summer, you fix air conditioning. In the winter, you make sure everybody got heat on. If that's your passion. But evaluate what it is that you want to do in life. Take a look at, what's happening. Like with me, I didn't think I wanted to be a doctor. My story, for those that know my story, this was trial and error. But I know this. When I get up and I even do these mental health Mondays, I'm not upset. I'm not mad. I'm giving this information as a discussion, which brings me to the disclaimer. Please, anyone listening to this, do not substitute anything on this channel that I say or may mention as therapy or replace a therapy. Go see a mental health doctor, see a licensed clinical social worker, go see a psychiatrist, talk to a loved one. This is just something to get your brain, motivated and turning for you to think about it. Because before you start to say things like, I hate my job, what else could you be doing to pay the bills? Now, we done said the lawyer, if he don't got no cases, how rich is he? If the lady at the bank or the man at the bank keeps getting fired, how's he paying his bills? If the construction worker built all the houses he could build and no longer doing it no more, how's he going to get money? Even me, I have a client base. I see clients daily and weekly. If half the clients today just say cancel, my check's cut in half. This is where other investments, other passions, and other thoughts come in. This is where you say, you know what? When I do get this little bit of money, What's a low risk or high risk investment? It could be real estate. It could be coins. It could be money. It could be selling cars. Whatever, you want to invest that time into. You know what I'm saying? And I advise you with that. Get a financial advisor, check the market, look at your funds, and see what you could do and where you can go. The point I'm making on this Mental Health Monday with job opportunities is that none of this is guaranteed. Every job, every career is going to have its ups, it's going to have its downs. It's going to have its highs, it's going to have its lows. Most people, like I said, they see me and say, well, hey, you're a doctor. You must make a lot of money. I can't speak for other doctors, but you have to understand, even when you think that, you have to say to yourself, okay, you have a cardiologist, I pay. A neurologist, I pay. Then it goes down. Gynecologist, you guys could Google this and see what it makes. For your career choice, not to be stupid and be nosy, but you could look at careers and look at what pays what. Because, as I got closer to getting my clinical license, I started doing the research. Who gets what? Well, I'm ready to get into a field where that's what that is. I talked to a lot of people that were in and out of the music industry, as far as the artists are concerned. That's in the music industry and even out of it. What do you do when you don't have a hit record? What do you do when you're not touring no more? What do you do when 10 years ago you had a platinum record and ran into somebody, you know what I'm saying, and got married and now you're not writing no more, you're not singing no more? What do you do? So, for whatever reason you might do this, right? Or for whatever reason you might look into getting paid, evaluate. Let your evaluation speak for itself. Let your evaluation be. I'm not doing this because I'm following someone or I'm following a trend. I'm doing this because this is something that I want to do. And weigh up and down, weigh the fact of what you can do. So when I hear somebody say, as a friend or even as a client, I hate my job. I don't like my job. I want to do something different. You have to weigh out your options. What else can I do? Bus driver, hall monitor, police officer, fireman, construction worker, whatever that is, evaluate it. And then I'm not saying don't jump from job to job until you find your place and find your passion, because I didn't find my passion until later on in life. But this conversation been coming up a lot about what they're going to do. And the holidays is coming. We just left the summer where everybody was going on vacation, and we just came out of the COVID thing. Everybody was want to take their life plan trips and trips that were on their bucket list. And they did that. Now guess what? Some of us got to pay them credit cards back. Now you got all of them credit cards you got to pay back, and you got Christmas coming. You got your loved ones, you got your children, you got your family members. If the money ain't adding up, you got to say, how do I get a paying job or a higher paying job? Or do I need a second job? Get into the solution. Get into the solution. Whether it's working at a deli, working at the library, or tutoring somebody at night. Get into the solution, what you want to do for this job satisfaction. Because if my situation takes a turn and I have to replace it with something, I better make sure my investments are right. I better make sure I got some money in the bank saved up. And I better have a plan B. So as someone told me one day, they said, Ulysses, never sit around and wait for the perfect moment. Take the moment and make it perfect. Like Ulysses Jackson, thanks for sharing your moments and your time with me today on another Mental Health Monday.